Okay, we're going to start with a little bit of prep work. I'm going to slice a medium lime in half. Right now I'm just softening it to make it nice and juicy inside because I need juice for part of the recipe today. And this is a great way to get it soft and juicy. So split it in half. The other half I'm going to cut into wedges. We'll just use those for decorations later. And then I will juice that solid half. And if you've got a juicer, obviously use your juicer. I think I have a juicer, and I don't know why I never remember to use it when I'm squeezing juice out of something. All right, we're also going to take some cilantro. I know not everybody likes cilantro. I think it has a wonderful ability to enhance flavor, kind of like garlic does. But if you don't like cilantro, you don't have to use it. So I'm just going to dice this up in kind of small pieces. And we'll use it again in two different places in the recipe. And then I've got it diced up. I'm just going to set it aside because I need my cutting board for the next item, which is one of the stars of the show, a Poblano pepper. We like to use Poblano because it's typically not too hot. There can be some spicy ones here and there, but in my experience, they're a little more predictable. But if there's a different pepper that you would rather use, you can use any pepper in the recipe that you like. I'm going to cut these into about 1/4 inch diced pieces, just so they'll get done well in the cooking process. And now that I've got that done, I'll set that aside as well. And just a little tip, when I buy vegetables that have seeds at the grocery store, I often will save the seeds, let them dry so that they are ready to plant. And then I always have a nice stash of seeds that I can grow in my garden, just like the ones I buy in a package and pay more money for. But I've already paid for these seeds by buying this produce. All right, I'm using ground pork in the recipe today. You can use pulled pork if you'd like also. I think chicken would work beautifully in this recipe as well, so shredded chicken or ground chicken. And we're just going to get this broken up so we can cook it evenly. And when it's about 75% cooked, I'm going to start adding other ingredients so that they can cook along with the rest of the cooking process for the meat. So first we'll go the Poblano peppers. And again, all of my recipes, you use as much or as little as you like. I have seasoned the meat and peppers with a little bit of chili powder and a little bit of ground Cumino and some salt. I didn't add pepper just because, again, I imagine the Poblano will give it a little bit of spice. But we're just going to get this cooked now. Let the meat finish cooking and let those peppers get soft. And now I'll add the rest of my ingredients. I like to add a little bit of water. It just keeps this from drying out because it's going to continue to cook for a little while. And I think I probably tend to cook my pork longer than some people because I just worry about the germs in it. I'm also going to add one of the small cans of diced green chilies, and then of sour cream. Just get this all blended around and give it some simmer time. Once the meat is cooked enough, you can do the finger taste test to determine if you need to add more of something. Now let's get ready to make some flautas. I've just got some flour tortillas here, and I'm just laying them out so that I've got access to them, not plenty of space to start filling them with this meat mixture. And I'll just divide up the meat and peppers evenly among the flour tortillas. I'll tell you now, once you've emptied out this pan of meat, don't wash it yet because you're going to need it for another step, and it's actually better if the flavors are left over in the pan from cooking the meat and the other items that cooked with it. All right, and now I'm going to sprinkle some cotija crumbles on it. You can use feta, you can use cheddar, you can use whatever cheese you like best. I like this one particularly because the crumbles help it melt really nicely, and it just has a very smooth but hearty richness to it that goes so nicely with all of these other flavors. So we're just going to sprinkle a little bit. Doesn't take a lot. And then let's turn these into flautas. So if you will move your meat mixture closer to one end of the tortilla than the other, and then kind of keep it taut as you're rolling, then it'll be more likely to stay rolled for you when you take your hands off of it. So I'm just going to do the same with all of these other tortillas and get them ready to go to the next step. Which is to put them back into that pan where we cooked the meat and pepper mixture. We'll add a little bit of olive oil to the pan, and it's going to have to be hot before we transfer those flautas back into it. So we'll coat the pan well, get that oil all on the bottom so we don't burn our tortillas. And then let it get hot. Once it's nice and hot, we will place the flautas into the pan, seam side down. You got to do the seam side down first so that they'll stay together to be flipped over to the other side here in just a bit. And you just want them to be nicely browned. So after a minute or so, if you want to lift one up and check for doneness, you can do that. Once they're browned on that first side, we'll flip them over and brown them on the other side, and I'll be working on something else while that's happening. All right, while side number 2 is browning, I'm going to get my sauce ready. This is about 1 ounce of sour cream with about half of the cilantro that we chopped and a couple of tablespoons of lime juice. Remember when we squeezed that lime? And here we are with our finished product. So look at the beautiful brown crispy tortilla part there. And then I've just dressed it with that sauce, sprinkled the rest of the cilantro on it. Again, you don't have to do that if you don't like it. And decorated it with a couple of those lime wedges. I like to squeeze the limes onto my flautas before I eat them. Now we'll do the true test. The final tasting. It's so easy, it's so simple, and it's so delicious. You guys have got to try this.